On time in a minute. John. Okay, awesome. All right, should we get we're live, Josh, so to speak.
It is recording. I'm checking the YouTube real quick.
Oh,
RCTV is on.
okay, perfect.
Yes, we're
okay.
live.
Wait, thank you. I will call the March 30th Killam School Building Committee to order. We are virtual this evening. And I will do a quick roll call vote. Pat? Well, let's go to Sean. Sean?
Here.
John?
Yes.
Chris?
Here.
Kirk? Oh, Kirk is not here. Ed?
Here.
Greg?
Here.
Nancy?
Here.
And thank you. And Carla's here. And Pat?
It's here as well.
Pat's here as well. Super. We will hopefully have a quick meeting tonight. We're going to have just a quick review of the agenda, public comment, any liaison reports. We will talk about the pre-qualified contractors and have a vote on that. And we're going to talk about authorizing documents to be issued for bids. And then we'll talk about future agenda items and next meeting dates. We will also that's it. We'll talk about the next XLT and the KSBC meetings and then adjourn. So I will start if there is any public comment, and I don't think we have anybody extra on here. No. So we will move to any liaison reports. No?
I don't know if it's officially a liaison report, but I think that they talk internally recently, and I think we're going to be reaching out to the abutters in the near future to kind of have a quick meeting with them just to give them an update of the project so they make sure that they understand kind of the timeline and everything. We've had a lot of town meetings, and in this meeting we talk about it all the time, but we want to kind of reach out directly to the abutters and just give them a more one-on-one kind of a heads up on that.
And I can't remember when we were talking. We were talking about doing it in April, right? Like the third week in April or something.
I think mid-April. We were going to work it around the April vacation week. We weren't going to try and hit people while the school vacation was going, but other than that, somewhere in that range. That's right.
Yeah, perfect. Thanks for bringing that up, Mike. Anyone else?
Would you like me to attend that meeting in person?
That would probably be good, Dave. I think we're going to try and do it maybe at the school, so that way we're not inconveniencing the neighbors too much. Once we get a confirmation, we'll make sure that you're on that invite.
Okay.
Perfect. Anyone else? Okay. We will also have one of our hopefully our next meeting, one of our upcoming meetings, we're going to have a presentation to the committee with the site development and just the look of the outside of the school and pavers and all of the playgrounds and things like that. And we're going to invite the parents who were on that those playground committees to kind of see the final renderings of their work as well. So we get to see a lot of the stuff in our individual meetings. But it's nice for the committee to kind of see what it looks like. It just brings it to a different level. It's kind of nice to see. Okay, Justin, you can take it away.
All right, so we had a significant interest in the project as far as contractors that provided their qualification statements and information. As you can see from the list, I think we have a pretty good list. As far as to start out things with the general contractors, we only had one that we had to disqualify, which was generally revolved around their financials just not really being up to the standard that we had as far as measuring against what we wanted and the caliber of this project. So I think we still have a really good list of general contractors that will be providing a bid, hopefully, and I think that's pretty much it as far as general contractors. But other contractors, we did have a few addendums that we needed everyone to acknowledge. 3 of them in particular. We pretty much did everything we could to, in addition to the notifications that were sent out via bid docs, to let them know that hey, you need to go in and acknowledge that. A good amount of them did after we kind of nudged everyone for additional second time to go in and acknowledge those addendums. But we probably had, I think it was, Mike, around 30 disqualifications in total, and maybe a little under 20 were because of not acknowledging addendas. So I don't think the ones that were necessarily lost due to that situation were damaging in any way. I think we're in really good shape with the contractors that we do have, and we did qualify. I think a lot of the contractors that we did qualify scored very high, and what else? What other information I can provide?
Yeah, Justin,
think-
if I can just jump in on that, I think, you know, when I first heard that we had potentially 30 disqualifications, I was a little surprised, but going through, like you said, about 2/3 of them were not acknowledging the addendums even after we had a follow-up. And I think the other third, you indicated for the most part, those were kind of maybe smaller contractors that were that maybe were qualified to do that type of work, but maybe not at the scale that we're looking at on this project.
Exactly. Yep. And that was primarily measured with their typical finance statements and looking at what their historical projects were versus what we had and the values of those projects.
All right. And then the last but not least, everybody's favorite filed subbid is elevators. And we didn't get any, we got one initially. We rejected it and pre-qualified. And did you get one again? Is that?
We actually didn't get any.
We didn't
the
get
second
it.
round.
Right. So the recommendation on that would be to make it an open filed subbid. So it would still be a filed subbid, it just would not be pre-qualified. So as you're looking at the list here, even with the rejections that we had, you can see we still have at least 4 or 5 bidders on every trade other than the elevators, which is really going to be an open bid now. And I think that's a really overall a good list for us to be working with.
And Mike, that elevator situation is not atypical for projects.
It's very typical. That's exactly right. It's kind of the way every project I've done over the last 5 or 6 years have gone that way, and probably longer. But at least the last 5 or 6 years, that's pretty common.
Great. Thank you. Anybody have any questions? And if you have questions, you can unmute yourself and shout it out too. No? Okay, thank you. So we are going to have a motion to approve the pre-qualified contractor and filed subbidders.
Motion to approve the contractor list and filed subbidder list as submitted.
Second.
And seconded by Ed. Any discussion? Okay, seeing none, I'll go to the vote. Pat?
Yes.
Sean?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Chris?
Yes.
Ed?
Yes.
Greg?
Yes.
Nancy?
Yes.
And Carla, yes. Thank you. That motion passes. And then we wanted to the final bid document, we wanted this committee to just vote to authorize that bid document to be issued for bid. So we just kind of want that formal approval that we want it sent over to be bid. So if we could have, but I should ask if there's any discussion on that.
So Carly, these are the documents that are being prepared for the project. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, so it would be the 100% bid documents that are actually going to be submitted to go out for bid. They are going out, I want to say is it April 7th, Jenny?
Yeah.
It's being prepared. It's going out April 7th. It'll go out for bid by, is it May 19th? We will have, we will open those bids and have a general contractor and file submitters as well.
Carla,
And-
could you remind me what the status is of the reviews, structural peer review and stuff like that? I may have lost that somewhere. What's the status on that?
Jenny, do you want to?
You-
field
I can
that?
take this one.
Justin.
We had each of those reviews performed, and we've passed them on to LBA, who's reviewing them and has incorporated what they've agreed on so far into the drawings, and we're going to be meeting with them I think in the next week or so. Jenny, I think we requested to kind of bump that date out to review, as far as I understand. But either way, we're going to be sitting down with them to review their initial comments with the ones that we don't necessarily agree with.
Can we be kept in the loop in terms of what those comments were and what the responses were?
Absolutely.
Sure.
When will that happen? I'm thinking about, we should get that squared away before we issue any bid docs.
So as far as I understand, it will be the items that we do agree with will be incorporated into the bid documents, and anything that is not necessarily agreed with or just following up with information will be provided to the consultant for review. If you'd like, I can send you a copy of the initial comments.
And
we could
Justin,
circle
if
back.
needed, it can be issued by addendum at a later date.
That's true. Yep.
Yeah, we have our written comments that we sent to you, Justin, on Friday. So we don't have the contact information for Four Leaf, but did you send those on to Four Leaf?
I did.
So those can be shared with you with the school, with this committee, if you all would like, or is it just John, or would everyone like to see them?
Well, I think it's important that we understand that there are no substantial comments, huge comments. Sometimes there are some pretty zingers in there, and when you do a review, it depends how qualified the review person is, of course. But the review should not be taken lightly. Let me put it that way. It's not a formal process. It's not a, you just do it and ignore it. It's it's a safety check. And it needs to be given some respect, and I'm not sure we're giving it. Well, maybe we are giving it respect, but I'm not seeing feedback from the architect or the engineers, and therefore we're not able to monitor it. So I would certainly like to see what they are. Yes.
Yeah, we'd be happy to share that with you.
And then we will have the next KSBC meeting, John, will be on April 13th. So if you have any issues, and you find out before that, let me know and we'll get it on the agenda. If not, you can, you could bring it up in liaison reports, but if you have it before that, let me know and we can get it as an agenda item to have.
Well, I'm just keen that, everything is getting squared away, and if there are things which are not agreed to by the architect or their team, those things kind of hang out there, and it's okay to issue an addendum to cover that, but it's not the right way of doing it. It's not the best way of doing it.
Sure.
So should get them squared away before.
So Justin, are you able to send that out, those comments out to the committee? That would be
I can
great.
do that.
Super. Thank you. Anyone else? Nancy, do we want to,
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll make a motion to vote to issue the 100% bid documents as prepared, I think is the way it should be.
Second.
seconded by Ed? Any other discussion? Seeing
I just have a
none?
question about,
Ed,
is this open shop or union or just whatever?
This is prevailing wage merit shop, so it can be union, it can be open shop. It's a combination of both. But it's prevailing wage.
So there's no restrictions by any of the general contractors?
The general contractors on the non-filed subbids have the option, if they're signatory with a specific trade, they would more than likely, for example, if they're signatory with the carpenters on any of the non-filed subbids, they would not have open shop bidders. They would only go to union bidders, but that's at their discretion based off of their agreements.
See how it plays out.
Great. Anyone else? Okay, going to the vote. Pat,
Yes.
Sean? We'll come back. John?
Sorry, Carla.
Yeah.
My mute button was not cooperating. I'm a yes.
Thanks. John?
Yes.
Chris?
Yes.
Ed?
Yes.
Greg?
Yes.
Nancy?
Yes.
And Carla's yes. Thank you, everyone. And that motion passes. So future agenda items and next meeting dates. We have listed the 4 next KSBC XLT meetings, and those we have corresponding to be before the KSBC meetings. We came up with this schedule to match as long as our bid date stays on target. If our bid date shifts, we're going to have to shift these meetings around. So our next KSBC meeting will be, and I misspoke to you, John Coote, before. The next KSBC meeting is 4/22, which is a Wednesday. So if everybody can just take note of that. And then the following one will be on Thursday. And then our next one will be on June 15th. So those are, we're gonna schedule them, but if there is a shift in the bid date, then we'll have to move those accordingly as well. Because we have to take a look at these, the bids that come in and make sure they're good. And then we want the committee to have access to that right away. And we want to be able to issue award and notice to proceed to the contractor as soon as possible. Okay. Anything else?
Carla, do you want me to just hit a couple of quick dates of like, or kind of what's going to happen over the next month, just so everybody understands?
That would be great, Mike.
So we approved the pre-qualified tonight, so we'll work with bid docs and the design team to get that issued tomorrow. So everybody who is pre-qualified will get a notice that they're pre-qualified. Everybody who's not will also get a notice that they're not. So everybody will have that information tomorrow. As we mentioned earlier, the bid documents are going out on the street with the intent to have them available on April 7th. That's a Tuesday. I believe Jenny or Justin, if you correct me, I think we're looking at the 17th for the site walk, which is about 10 days after that comes out. That's a Friday.
Yes, as far as I understand, that's the date that's been set. Yes.
Right. So April 17th, we're going to do a site walk with the contractors, and then from there, we've got a couple more weeks till the bids are due. The bids will be coming in on May 5th for the filed subbidders. May 6th. The filed subbidders typically are about 2 weeks before the GC bids. So we get those in, we evaluate those. We'll issue the list of results, and then those results go to the GC. That's usually about half the value, so that's our first indication of where we are budget-wise. So we'll have that information that gets sent out, and then as you mentioned, the current scheduled date is May 19th for for the GC bids. And that kind of follows along with your meetings down here. The May 21st is 2 days after that. So we're giving ourselves 2 days to go through and evaluate those. The pre-qual has already happened. So the bid is pretty minimal lifting, if you will. Once we have the numbers, it's really looking at the numbers, making sure the bid bond is valid and things of that nature, things have signed and stuff like that. But again, going through bid docs, that should help with that process a little bit. And then the goal would be end of May, beginning of June, awarding the contractor. I think we put a section in the contract that we're asking them not to mobilize out onto the site till after the kids get out of the school. And before you know it, we'll be in the ground and moving forward.
Super. Thank you, Mike. Great. Anybody else?
Just
Okay.
me, Carla, real quick.
Go
Sorry.
ahead, Chris.
Yeah, earlier I forgot during under liaison reports that the select board voted Jane Wellman is the next town manager. So she will be with us for the foreseeable future here. Even though I believe she was anyway before, but just an update for everyone else who doesn't know that.
Yep.
That's great news for us all.
Yep.
Great news, Jane.
Thank you. Thanks, Chris. Thanks all.
Yeah.
I think we have to update the MSBA maybe again to let them know that it's permanent. But other than that, I think we're good.
Yep. We have 20 days to do that too. Perfect. Okay. And one more motion.
Motion to adjourn.
Non-debatable. We'll go to the vote. Pat,
Yes.
Sean,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
Ed,
Yes.
Greg,
Yes.
Nancy,
Yes.
and Carla. Yes. We're adjourned. Thanks, everyone. Have a great night.
Thanks,
Great time.
Take care.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Ride safely.